actually seem to be too terribly big. So, let's see, I don't know how this is going to track versus my all-time best lap, which is a 22.5. Right now, I'm just getting comfortable with it. We're going to go against the session best lap, actually. Know that the 22.5 is in my head, but right now I'm just kind of driving the track a little bit slow just to get my feel for it again. Dover's a lot of fun. It's really, when you get to driving it right, it kind of feels like a roller coaster a little bit. You want to run up the banking and then really bite it back down off the corners. So I like to drive it in kind of deep, let it slide up a little bit, and then you want to be easy on the throttle because it can be really easy to bring the back end of the car around. Also, with the new aero changes that they've done, I don't know if we're going to be in the 22.5 range. This might be one of those tracks where we end up losing about a second to a second and a half on hot lap time with the new changes that they've made this year. So that old time, you can kind of throw that away as not being super relevant. If I can get down into the 23s, that's probably going to be pretty good. Right now you can see my best laps at a 25.0. On the brakes, just kind of let it roll. Picked up the throttle a little bit too early there. If you ever get on the throttle and then have to get off again, that means that you got off too early. You really want to let it roll and start applying the throttle when you know that you can't bring your foot back off of it. I don't follow my own advice with that particularly well all the time, but that's kind of a general rule of thumb. Let's see. Got it down to a 24.8. We'll run maybe 20 laps on this set of, or maybe 10 laps on this set of tires. Pull it back in and then try to get a hot lap time. And sort of see where we stand right now. Just getting comfortable with it. I also am going to want to make sure that I've got the Dover setup loaded. It should be loaded by default. I don't know if they're going to do a new setup for next week or not. A car and B car are going to be different at this track. The A car is the one that I focused on more because that's what the NASCAR iRacing series runs. And the B doesn't have a... I know that the B and C do something that runs parallel to that, but that's only for open set. So getting good in the A car is ultimately where my main focus is. You can see it gets really twitchy off the corner.
5.2. You're currently 0.4 off the leader's pace.
And the fall off is pretty extreme. You see, now I'm starting to run pretty consistent laps, but the tire fall off is making it so that these laps are dropping back a little bit from where that one that I said earlier on lap 4.
Off the pace.
So you want a little bit of a gentle arc. Don't arc it too much, because if you go up too high, that usually means that you're really scrubbing the right front. You just want it to let it roll a little bit. The goal there is to get a straight shot off the corner. Particularly matters coming out of turn 4. Turn 2 is a little bit more forgiving on exit. Turn 4 gets really narrow. So that was a better turn 1 there. Gonna let it slide up again. And it almost feels like you're shooting for a tunnel or something.
24.9. You're currently 0.1 off the pace.
But yeah, it's real narrow off turn 4. Passing at this track is really difficult. As a result, it's really important to get a solid run on someone coming off of the corner, because diving down in when you're not already alongside is usually a losing proposition.
Activate limiter.
So, pulling it into the pits and trying it again. Dover's always been one of my better tracks. I've gotten at least one win here in the D car, maybe more. I also got my first top 5 in the NASCAR iRacing series last year. Was at Dover. I got a 3rd place and actually was in contention to get a win in that one. So here we go. Let's see what kind of hot lap time we can lay down with fresh tires now that we've got a little bit of the feel under it for us. Tracking well. Down in the corner, let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Sometimes when I say let it roll, I actually do put just enough throttle into it to keep momentum through the corner.
You've just done a 24.7. Good lap. That's your quickest today.
So there's a 24.7. Like I said, if we get down into the under 24 lap times, that's probably going to be pretty good. The new setup definitely has a lot less grip in the corners than what I've used, than what I've run here in the past.
That puts you 0.1.
So it's definitely slower than last year's setup for sure. Rolling high. I'm probably giving it a little bit too high through the center of the corner. I'm going to try one where I get down on the low line and just keep it down on the bottom. See how it kind of chokes off the corner exit when you try to do that, though? You can really carry more momentum. It looks like that's going to be even more pronounced as wanting to do it. Let's see. I am going to put the Ghost back against the all-time best lap, just to see. I want to see the line that I was running for this lap and see if replicating that will get my session best lap time down a little bit. What do we got? We got 20 minutes before the Richmond race, so we'll maybe do another 10 minutes of practice here, and then I want to go get registered for Richmond and have a little bit of time to do a warm-up there, just to get in the mindset for running Richmond. But okay, so you can see how on that setup, on the old setup, was really able to dive the car in much more aggressively. It just won't hold the corner at the same speed that it was doing it last year.
That lap was at 24.7. You're less than a tenth off the pace.
I was doing middle groove kind of all the way through the corner. So if I can try to replicate that line. And that's what I'm talking about. That is so easy to do.
24.8. You're currently 0.1 off
Nicaraguan with the cheer, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Love it when you guys cheer with the bits. That's awesome. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much.
Exit's clear. Push.
So let's see. Gonna try running against that against the all-time best lap a little bit more again, just to see if I can get the feel of that entry, and then we'll go back to comparing against the session. Dang. Hey, Law Dog, yep. MLK Day off. So, doing a little bit earlier stream today. It's always fun. Let me see. I actually am going to go back over to the session best lap. Optimal lap in this session's at a 24.5. I do not know how fast a fast lap is going to be here ultimately, but I think that there's another half second out there probably that I'm missing currently on my hot lap, at least, just based on the feel of it. So, diving it down, rolling it, picking up the throttle. More similar to the line that I was watching that ghost car run for my best lap. And picked off another
You've just done a 24.6.
couple hundredths. Dove it in a little bit too hard, slid a little bit too much up. But that's kind of what you want at Dover.
That was
dive it down.
You're now 0.1 off the pace.
Diamond the corner a little bit because you really want to get a run. I'm probably diamonding it more than you should. But that's a line that you can run. You want to be mindful of your tires in the long run.
You've just done a 24.9. That puts you 0.2 off the leader's pace.
You can see, I'm not scrubbing them too much. Another thing that you can do if you're not careful is you can really mess up your corners getting the throttle too aggressively coming off the corner. So going in, you can really scrub them on entry if you're not careful, and coming off, you want to make sure you're not buzzing the tires because that will spin you out, or if it doesn't spin you out immediately right there, you will just kill your tire wear, and then later on in the run you'll pay for it because you'll be buzzing them when other guys are maintaining better speed. So I was just able to run a faster lap there with a few laps on the tires. Just trying to get the feel for the track. What you want is to work that muscle memory mainly into your legs for where you're pushing on the throttle and stuff, so that you're able to get a rhythm and lay down some consistent times. In the race, you'll find that a lot of times, raw speed matters, but it's really about consistency. That's what ends up paying off on these, longer runs and stuff. Being able to put out a consistent lap time, lap over lap, and not make slips like that. See, that was a bit of a slip, but I recovered from it well with good speed off the corner. This will be an okay lap, assuming I can hook up 3 and 4. Car just dances, it's crazy.
That was 24.6. You're less than a tenth off the pace.
Half a tenth quicker through 1 and 2 than my best lap. Overdrove 3 and 4 again, but that higher center should be able to work for center off, and clipped a little bit more. Got the
24.6.
lap down into the
quickest today.
59, so that's all right. McDaniel's done a 22.282. Yeah, but that's probably under the old setup. I can't imagine that he's doing a 22 with this set. My quickest lap on the old configuration of the car was a 22.5. So 3/10 off of that. I could be wrong, but I'd be shocked if anyone's able to get down to the 22s with the way that this thing's handling currently. Yikes. Boom. Bent the whole thing. Yeah, this year it looks like across the board on all of the fast tracks, times are going to be way off of what they used to be. So glad that, you know, when I beef this thing in testing, that all it is just a reset. Don't have to actually spend the money to repair the thing. That's very nice. It's embarrassing enough just having the thing wreck on stream in front of you guys. It'd be even worse if that was actually financial ruin for me. There we go. Clipped a little time off that lap there. Got down to a 24.4. Like I said, I'm sure that the really fast guys will be getting under 24 seconds. Could be wrong on that, but that's just kind of where I think it's going to be. But this has me in a pretty good spot where I think that, you know, maybe if I jump on and stream something tonight from Dover, get an early race in, I might be in good shape on speed. But it definitely prepares me well for tomorrow at my usual stream time. Whew. Thing is dancing loose.
24.8. That puts you 0.4 off the pace.
Crazy. Let's try to get one more hot lap in. Yeah, the tires are wearing a lot quicker too, so you know that reinforces what I was saying earlier, which is the key to Dover, obviously everywhere you go you want to get a good hot lap time and you want to be capable of running a good hot lap time. That will just help with everything, but the real key here is taking care of your equipment over the long run. Short run speed's obviously important. Track position's key. But if you can take care of your car over the long run, you'll often get some good runs. And those guys who kill their tires early in the run pay for it big time as the race goes on.
That last lap was at 24.9.
It's always fun being the guy who's taking care of the tires and you just start blowing by guys and reeling them in like they're standing still. That's a great feeling. So kind of easy going into the corner, manage that groove up high, and then hook it off. All right.
That lap was at 24.6.
Gonna wrap this test session up,
off the pace.
and we're gonna head over to Richmond and see if we can get a few warm-up laps in, and as you guys say, start as near to the pole as possible for that. Good little test section there. Might get another one in either at the